What's going on, you guys? For those of you who do not know me, my name is Emily. I go by the artist name Earthling Emily, and these videos are called Earthling Elaborates, and the reason that I started filming them is to allow myself to just openly talk about things that are going on with me, personally, artistically, all of the above. And I just wanted to open a space to be able to connect with you guys on a deeper level outside of just social media, because social media can be very kind of one-sided sometimes and just weird. So I wanted to have a different space where I can really talk to you guys and make it feel as though we are spending, actual intimate time getting to know each other, even though obviously I am not able to hear you and it's just a lot of me talking. But anyways, usually my normal schedule for posting these videos is that I post every other Sunday. However, I have not posted a video in a little bit over a month, and there are a lot of different reasons for that, but the main overall conclusion, also, if you guys can hear whining, it's my senior dog. He is trying to get comfy right now and he's having a hard time. He kind of just whines and goes in circles until he can find a spot to be comfy. There we go. Good boy. He did it. Anyways, there are a lot of reasons why I have not posted a video in so long, but the overall general reason is that I'm going through a transition right now, in many different regards. I have been having a pretty rough time. I've been getting through well enough, but I've been really emotional. I've been really leaning into the archetype of questioning who I am, what I'm doing, just everything. I'm a very existential person, so I already have a natural inclination to question things and question existence and why I'm here and all of those things, and it's been really intense lately. I've just been really questioning a lot. I've been feeling like I have been failing a lot of things and just not really like holding up to standards of myself as much as I want to be. And breaking that down, it's a lot of different variables. I have gained like 30 to 40 pounds over the last year. Maybe 2 years is more reasonable of a time period. And that's been really hard for me to accept. I don't view myself as, realistically, outside of my delusions and my insecurity, I do not think that I'm overweight, and I do not feel like I am unhealthy. However, I was used to being at a decently low weight for my size, because in 2022 I struggled with a really bad psychotic break and I lost a bunch of weight, like really, really low. And then I gained maybe like 20 pounds after like hitting my rock bottom. And now over the past 2 years, I've gained another 40 pounds, which is a lot. And my body is just different. I have more fat on my arms, my boobs, my butt, my belly, my legs, like everything is bigger, my face. And it's just been really hard for me to get used to it because I have been so used to this certain way that my body looks. And it's been a struggle. I've had a lot of insecurity come up. I kind of go through these waves where I'm really insecure and it's eating away at me, and then I'm okay and I feel confident and sexy and beautiful, and I'm embracing the weight and embracing my body. And my main consensus in my highest self mindset is that I am happy with the weight that I've gained. I am happy that I survived and even was able to gain this weight, and I'm happy that I'm at a point where I can eat as much as I want and like have a healthy diet and a healthy relationship with food. And realistically, I would love to tone my body a bit. I would love to get into a normal and frequent yoga practice as well as an exercise routine. I don't want to be like a gym rat. I don't want to like be focused on gains, but at the same time, I would love to just get my body feeling strong and just a little bit toned. But realistically, I want to keep this weight. I just want to carve it out a little bit. So I am just overall trying to love myself unconditionally right now, and I'm really lucky that I have a partner who also loves me unconditionally and helps me navigate through those insecurities. And outside of my body, I transitioned into being a full-time artist halfway through last year, and my full-time artist schedule is obviously unique and it's its own thing. It's not going to be the same as somebody else's, and my specific situation is that I previously to deciding to be an artist full-time, I had been a caregiver for elderly. I've been a caregiver for elderly since the like end of it was like middle point of 2022, after I'd gone through all of my shit. So it's been about 4 years now that I've been a caregiver. I have cared for so many people. I've made so many relationships. Caregiving in general is something that I truly felt like I was meant to do, because the nature of just who I am as a person, I really have a keen sense of like what people need and how to help them, even if they don't know or if they don't know how to verbalize it. So I love caregiving, and what I did is obviously worked as a caregiver full time. And when I say full time, I was working so much, like so many hours a week. And it was honestly really exhausting, like very rewarding, but caregiving is not for the weak. It's a lot of not only physical labor, but it's very mental and emotional as well. I mean, you're connecting with people who, you know, are knowingly on the last end of their life, and, you know, everyone's life looks different. You know, some people are pretty well off and independent, and other people you know, can't go to the bathroom by themselves, and they can't eat by themselves. And so it's a really big range of just seeing people in different states of being, and some of those states are very sad. So it's very emotionally taxing, and that is why it gets exhausting at times. So anyways, fast forward to the middle of last year, I had been thinking like just so heavily, I need a break. I want to pursue art. Like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to make it work, but I want to be able to sustain myself financially doing what I'm most passionate about, which is creating. And I kept seeing videos on my For You page of like people being like, if you, and this is probably just some algorithm meta bullshit, but just videos of people being like, if you needed a sign to quit your job and chase your dreams, like this is it. And if you want to be an artist, this is your sign to just do it and full send it and blah blah blah. And I just kept seeing those videos, and I kept like just having this mental battle with myself of, how am I gonna do this? Like I don't know the first thing about running a business or like doing anything like that, but I really wanted to do it. And I was getting to a point where the person that I was caring for the most at that time truly did not need the care. It was a situation where I was basically just a placeholder. I was there while the main caregiver would go and do errands and stuff, and there was nothing for me to do. Like maybe I would make a sandwich for my client every once in a while, but all in all, I would be sitting at the table for hours. That was my shift, is just sitting there. Occasional conversation with the person when they came out and wanted to talk. So it was draining in the way of being so fucking bored and so annoyed at the fact that I could be spending this time chasing my dreams and doing my passions, but I'm just sitting somewhere basically doing nothing. It was kind of an annoying time in my caregiving career. And so naturally, because I kept thinking like, okay, I'm gonna stop seeing this client. I'm gonna quit this, like not quit caregiving in general, but I'm gonna at least not do these hours with this person anymore. Like it's draining me mentally and they don't really need it and they can find someone else, blah blah blah. I kept thinking that, and it just was dragging on and on and on. And then finally, naturally, they didn't need care anymore. And I had all of those hours open up, which was a majority of my week. And before that, I had lost clients to death, as well as to just they didn't need care anymore, or their schedule was changing, or their benefits were changing, and they, whatever. So now I was at a point where my whole entire week was opened up, and I had one client still that I would see 9 hours a week, 4.5 hours on Monday, 4.5 hours on Friday, and that is what I still do to this day. And the whole entire rest of my week and all my time, which, I mean, if you're looking at it in like a 9 to 5 aspect, that's like 30-ish hour, no, more like, yeah, like 30-ish hours a week on art, and then that like 9 hours caregiving. So that is what my full-time artist schedule looks like, right? So now fast forward to now. It's been like a year that I've been on this journey of being a full-time artist, and the way that I've made it work is doing a lot of events. I do like 2 to 3 events per month. I have a specific like community and niche that I tend to stick to, where I get to vend and I get to live paint, and I also have an online shop that I sell from. Not really, the sales aren't really as good as in person, to be honest, but I do have a website where I sell things. And I have been struggling. I have definitely, and when I say I'm struggling, I'm gonna meet that with a balancing juxtaposition, which is that I have made a really good amount of money from my art. I, have never sold my art so consistently and, done so many sales ever before. And I have made it work. I have made rent every single month. I have paid all my bills. I have been able to buy coffee for myself more than I probably should in the mornings. Go out to eat, go to concerts, stuff like that. Sometimes and some months are way better than others, and the months that are not good are really fucking stressful because that's just how it goes, like I could go to an event and have that event be like in my mind, like this is like I have to make this certain amount of money at this event, and then sometimes it just doesn't happen. Maybe it's not the crowd, maybe people don't have the money to spend, there's a lot of variables that go into it, but sometimes I don't make as much as I not need to, but as I want to, and it's a struggle. And then it's the end of the month and I'm freaking out, stressing out about the fact that I don't have enough fucking money, and it's difficult, and I've just been hitting a point lately where I am really tired about thinking about money. Like, I am tired of being stressed, and I have contemplated giving up a lot. I've contemplated just not doing art anymore, not like flat out period, but like going back to doing a 40-hour a week full-time gig, that pays every fucking week or 2 weeks. I've thought about giving up more in the past 2 months than I have the whole year long process that I've been doing this. And it's been rough. It's been trying and difficult, and keeping up with social media, keeping up with myself, keeping up with my life and all my pets, keeping up with my partner, keeping up with our friends, keeping up with family. Like, it's just, everything has been a lot lately. And I had some stuff happen at the beginning of this year that was also really stressful. I talked about it in the last video that I posted. My cat underwent a life-saving surgery that I did not know how I was going to pay for, and it was just really stressful. I almost lost him. We took in a senior dog at like the same fucking time. Like, it was just a lot, one of those time periods where everything was just shitting out all at once, and it was so stressful. And it honestly, I think a lot of like my kind of like issues lately have kind of been remnants of that time period. Like, I was talking to a friend the other day, and they just kind of reminded me of the fact that all of those things that I went through are life transitions, and they are stressful and they're hard to deal with, and it's completely understandable that it would take set amount of time to like actually go back to some sort of normal. And I do think that I'm in pretty much my normal now, but I think I kind of underestimated like how long that actually would take. So I think a lot of these like stressful things and all of this stuff is also just a part of the fact that I'm still like just getting used to this new routine of the way I'm living. We just had a roommate move out, and this is the bedroom is now my art studio, which is so cool. I don't know if you guys could tell that it's a different space or not if you've watched my other videos, but I just moved in here. I finished it, I think this week, or it was last week. I can't remember, honestly. I think it was this week. But yeah, there's been ups, there's been downs, there's been everything in between. And going back to my full-time artist thing, I am reaching a point right now where I do not want to give up by any means. However, I am ready for a shift because it feels like everything is shifting for me right now, internally and externally. And I realistically still do not know what I'm doing. Like, have I made things work this past year? Yes. Have I made the most money from art I've ever made? Yes. Have I done things and events and made connections that are amazing and new and great? Yes, I have. Like, there are so many positives that have come with this process, but I'm ready for a next level type of jump. And a lot of that next level is stuff that needs to happen behind the scenes. So I'm feeling a drawback. I've already been feeling a drawback for a while. That's why I haven't posted a YouTube video, and I haven't really been like I've been active on social media because it feels like I have to be, but it hasn't been as like my heart in it as it used to be, because I feel that I need to draw inwards right now, and there are some things that I need to work on personally, and like the foundations of my business and my brand and who I am as a person in order to reach that next goal of what I'm trying to do. Because I've kind of just been like floating through, like, yes, I have structure and I have schedules, but it's been getting a bit loose, and I think that I need to really lock in right now on some more interpersonal things. So with that being said, I've kind of just decided that I am going to take on more hours caregiving again. I have gotten some opportunities lately that feel aligned with what I need right now, and I am going to really focus on just painting and just practicing my craft. Like, I have known that I have so much to learn, but right now specifically, it really feels like a valuable time for me to really prioritize practice and not so much like needing to pressure myself and stress out about I need to have a certain amount of products to sell and blah blah blah, but just learning, like really honing in on my skills so I can make my paintings better. Because like, I want my style of painting and art in general is a blend of realism and abstract. I like to take real things like people and animals and plants and mix that with this like abstract, psychedelic, fluid kind of world and like energy. And I am really not that great at realism. I have never painted a portrait ever. I draw portraits, but it's not something I'm well versed in at all. Have I been learning? Yes, but like, I'm ready to lock in. Like, I want to be spending a majority of my time practicing stuff, and I want to learn a lot. And I think that it's a great time to take advantage of that, and kind of lean out of the business, like I need to make money mindset right now, and into the I need to pour into myself and my craft right now. And I am obviously so grateful and lucky that I have the ties that I do to caregiving, to where I can just decide like I want to take on more hours or I don't want any more hours, like that is something that not a lot of people have. And I'm very grateful and lucky for that opportunity. So that's kind of my plan right now. Is I'm going to lean into caregiving a little bit more. I'm still not going to be working like insane hours, like nothing like I was in the past, but I'm going to build up some of my hours to where I don't have to worry so much about making money from my art, because I want to practice my painting. I want to practice my skills. I want to allow myself the calmness and the relaxation to like let my nervous system actually just like pour into my craft. And I want to pour into myself. I want to get my body right, my mind right. I want to just not be stressed about money. Like, it's been so rough. Because when I'm such an independent person that when I feel like I'm not taking care of myself and my responsibilities as much as like my standards in my head say I should be, I lose my shit. Like, my whole entire self-worth goes out the fucking window. And like, it's so stupid. Like, I hate the fact that how much money I have is so much attached to my self-worth, but at the same time, that's actually like a really beautiful alchemical relationship that can be nurtured and can be healed in a way where that actually benefits me, because then the more that I'm pouring into my self-worth and the more abundant I am in confidence and self-love, the more money I'm going to make, especially when I lean back into my business like full time. So yeah, I hope that all of that makes sense, because I know that that's a lot. And honestly, I haven't really said all this out loud until just now, so I don't fully know if it made that much sense, but I hope it did. And that's just where I'm at right now. So I'm going to be doing a lot of research on like how exactly I should run my business, my art business, to make it obviously efficient. And also, like, I want to benefit the most. Like, I even hate thinking about the fact that, the government is going to need, the taxes and certain portions of my earnings and yada, yada, yada. And just like, it's just a lot. And like, I'm 23. Like, I am 23 years old and I'm going to be 24 in August. I don't know if a lot of you know that or not, but I'm so young and I'm just figuring a lot of things out, and I put a lot of pressure on myself to have everything figured out. And when I don't feel like I have everything figured out, like I said, I just feel like I'm a fucking failure. And I don't want to feel that way anymore. I want to love truly, through and through, authentically love myself and support myself and have the capacity to make the things I want to happen. So I'm going to be researching a lot on like how to run my business. I'm going to be working towards getting like everything that I need official, because I haven't really been doing things very official. Like, I don't own my name of my business, like, things like that I just need to get locked in. That's what I'm going to be focusing on behind the scenes. And as far as what I'm actually putting out into the world, I am going to post my art, I'm still going to advocate for myself. I'm still going to be making art all the fucking time. I'm probably still going to be doing events as well. I have events lined up all the way through August right now that I'm going to fulfill. But I just think that I need to take a bit of a step back and allow things to shift as accordingly, because it's just feeling like that time for me. if you can relate in any way, if you've been going through shifts, if you've been going through transitions, or whatever, if you relate to anything I said, I would love to hear your side of the story and what's going on with you, whether you want to leave it in the comments or you want to message me on social media. My social media handle is the same for all platforms right here, Earthling Emily. Also really want to lean into my Patreon more. I spent like a good amount of time curating my Patreon, and then I just have not been able to nurture it as much as I want. And realistically, Patreon is an amazing platform. Like, it really is awesome, and I really want to be able to lean into Patreon more and show my love on there and be able to connect with you guys. I think that will be beneficial while I'm kind of taking a break from the super businessy side of things. But yeah, that is like an overall summary. I think I already tried to end it out and then I just keep spewing more, but I think I'm gonna actually cut it off there this time. So yeah, if you are watching this and you've never seen me before and you just listened to that whole rant, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you for caring and being here and listening to me. And I hope that you end up subscribing and sticking around for the long haul, because this journey is just beginning and it is just going to be really cool to have a support system along the way. So in every single Earthling Elaborates video, I do an oracle reading, and I will be doing one for this video. This is the deck of cards that I use. It is the Mystical Wisdom deck, and the art is by Josephine Wall, who is one of my biggest inspirations artistically. I think that she's in her 80s now, and she lives in the UK, but she is amazing. Like, her art, you'll see when I pull the cards out, it's exquisite. It's absolutely beautiful, and it's just like the art that I make. Like, it's a mix, in the art that I want to make, it's a mix of realism with this like psychedelic, abstract, like flowy, energetic. Oh, it's just so beautiful. It's amazing. But I'm gonna take a quick drink of water since I've been yapping till the cows come home. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Lord, for the water. So, I'm just gonna start shuffling these cards, and then while I'm doing this, I invite you to just become present with the space in whatever way best works for you. For me, I like to just take intentional deep breaths in through the nose, and I hold it and then release through the mouth. And I just do that at my own pace, however many times I need, and it definitely helps to relax my muscles and my body and my mind and just bring me more into the present moment. So if you want to take those breaths and do that, then feel free. These readings that I do are communal. They're for the community. They are for anybody who needs to hear them. It is just as much for you as it is for me, and vice versa. So I would like to just open up the space, and if you have any intentions that you would like to bring forth to this reading, if you have any questions that you've been curious about, or if there's things that you need, specific things that you need guidance on during this time, or if you just want to see what comes out, you don't have any specific, anything, you just want to hear what comes, that's okay too. But if you do have specific intentions, go ahead and think about those things. Maybe say them out loud if you feel comfortable, or just thinking about them, writing them down, whatever feels best for you. You can do that as well as we come into the space more. So I'm going to do the same exact thing. While I shuffle these cards, I'm going to take some breaths and think about my intentions, and we will see where this reading goes. If you need to reposition yourself or stretch at all to make your body more comfortable, then feel free to make those adjustments now. Happy Gemini season, by the way. We had, at least in my part of the world, we had the full moon just a couple days ago, and it went into Gemini season. Just celebrated my boyfriend's birthday yesterday, and honestly, I have a lot of Geminis in my life. I love Geminis. I know that they tend to have this persona, like what do you call it, a stereotype persona, that they're like, you know, this and that, whatever. I love Geminis. They're some of the most passionate, inspiring people that I know. Just unapologetically themselves, and like, I feel like a lot of Geminis are similar to Virgo in the sense, which is what I am. I'm a Virgo. I feel like we're similar in the sense that we're very like precise about things, and we're not afraid to advocate for that and for like what we're most passionate about. Like, I love it. I absolutely love Geminis. So if you're a Gemini, or if you've just celebrated a birthday, or you're going to be celebrating a birthday, let me know in the comments down below. I think these are just about shuffled up. So I'm going to give you a moment to just sit with the deck, and you can once again relay your intentions, whether it's internally in your head, verbally, you're writing it down, or if you've already done those things. I just want to give you a moment to look at the cards and resonate with the energy of them a bit. I'm going to take a few drinks of water and just solidify my intentions as well, and then we will pull some cards and see what comes out. I would just like to reinstate that this is a communal reading. This is not only for me, but this is for you as well. This is for anybody that needs to hear it. And I would also like to say that you should never feel like you have to relate to a reading. You have your own personal discernment of what is right and what is wrong, and what you agree with and what you don't agree with, and you should never feel forced to accept somebody else's truth. When I do these readings, I am channeling through intuitively what I feel. And if you want to accept it as a truth and you relate to it, then that's great. And if you don't, please don't feel forced. I know that sometimes in spaces where, you're getting a reading done, it's like almost this feeling like that person is this all-knowing, that like you have to believe everything they say, and I just don't think that's true. I think that you absolutely should use your own discernment. So just remember that throughout this reading, that if something doesn't feel right and you don't want to take it in as a truth, don't. All right. I am going to do 3 last shuffles of the deck, and then we're going to pull some cards. And I would like to mention that I do offer personalized monthly oracle readings on my Patreon. It's $11.11 per month, and you get a personalized oracle reading specifically for you. And obviously that includes being able to message with me so you can very clearly, ask any questions or set any specific intentions that you want. So I will put the link to my Patreon in my bio if you are interested, and if not, that's okay as well. I just want to put it out there for anybody who is interested. So let's go ahead and pick some cards. I'm going to let you guys see the cards come out, so we're just going to lower the camera a little bit. See what comes out. That's 4 cards off the bat. I'm feeling it. Sometimes when I get that many cards at once, I'll put them back. But this time I am definitely feeling like these might just be our cards. All right. So, how this is going to work is I am going to hold up the card for you like so, and I'm going to read the writing for the card out of the booklet, and I'm going to read each card individually in order, and then we will do an overall consensus of the reading as a whole at the end. So we're going to start with our first card that came out, which is the Battle of the Blues card. Beautiful imagery, got a full moon in the corner right here. And yeah, this is the art of Josephine Wall. Just exquisite. It's just so beautiful. I can barely even comprehend it. So this card says, take steps toward positive change. When you have sad feelings of gloom and inadequacy, you need to recognize this as a temporary situation. Feelings of sadness and negative thoughts can immobilize you, and only you can change this. Perhaps it is a wake-up call to get into action and make changes. Take small steps and keep moving every day to bring positive change and self-empowerment. Exercise, study, socialize with like-minded people, listen to music, and talk about your feelings with trusted friends and family. Know that the magic of the universe and the angels are there to support and guide you. Gather your courage and rise to meet your challenges. And the mantra, I don't know, I never say mantra. But I did this time. Now I feel like a silly goose. The mantra for this card is, I take small steps every day to make positive changes in my life for happiness and fulfillment. Okay, let's repeat that. I take small steps every day to make positive changes in my life for happiness and fulfillment. I take small steps every day to make positive changes in my life for happiness and fulfillment. Love that right now. Woo! Okay, next card is one of my favorites, and it doesn't come out too often. It's definitely a little bit elusive, but it makes sense for the nature of the card, which is the unicorn card. We got a constellation up here. I'm not sure what the constellation is though. If you happen to know, then feel free to drop that in the comments because I'm curious. The unicorn card says, invite serendipity. Mysterious, playful, and pure, the unicorn is universally beautiful, mysterious, and difficult to capture or tame. It is fierce and protective, yet admirable. The unicorn is the symbol of serendipity, the occurrence of events by chance in a happy or beneficial way. This card represents good luck in making unexpected and favorable discoveries. Expect magic to happen. Luck is on your side. I love those last two lines. It says, expect magic to happen. Luck is on your side. That's the truth right there. And the mantra, I keep doing that. Oh my gosh. Why do I want to have a southern accent right now? The mantra for this card is, I accept and invite serendipity into my life. I accept and invite serendipity into my life. I accept and invite serendipity into my life. Love that. Our next card, just like all the others, is very aligned with everything that I've been talking about today. And that would be the money card. Absolutely love the balance of animals in here. They are all so beautiful. Another full moon energy going on in this card. Some water elements as well. This card says, find a way to abundance. Don't worry, you will find a solution to gain the money you require. Though you may have suffered a misfortune such as unemployment or encountered financial difficulties, know that there are always people around to help. There's always a way out. Find your internal fortitude and guiding light to persist in gaining back what you have lost. Do the best you can with what you have, and if you need help, ask for it. Things will get better. And almost did it again. The mantra for this one is, I have faith that a solution is possible. I have faith that a solution is possible. I have faith that a solution is possible. Very beautiful. And the last card is actually just on the opposite side of the one I just read, and that would be the memories card. So I'll just put it out there that if you do have a loved one that has recently passed, or not even recently but has passed, and you've been thinking about them lately, then this might just be their way of channeling through to you and saying that they are there and that they love you. This card says, cherish memories of loved ones. When you lose someone dear to you, it leaves an everlasting void, and with it you lose your personal sense of peace. You may be one of the many who believe your loved ones are still around, and you want to strengthen your connection with them. You can do this, as there is more going on behind the veil of God than meets the eye. You will experience visits in many different ways: a familiar smell, a nudge, or a white feather. This is just them saying hello. Everyone has a time to return home to heaven. And the mantra for this card is, my loved ones are well cared for in heaven. My loved ones are well cared for in heaven. My loved ones are well cared for in heaven. And I also just want to say, I just got emotional for some reason. I feel like I personally, I can relate to this in my own way, but not maybe in the traditional way of the card. I have not had somebody pass recently or anything like that, but I will say that whether you have actually lost somebody to death or you have just lost someone to life, you know, like a breakup or a separation, or, you know, anything where you lose somebody that you love and care for. I just want to say that it's going to be okay, and we're all gonna get through it. And there, like the card said, there are ways to connect still, even if you're separated from somebody, whether they're still in this plane of existence or another. And to just try to tap into that and be gentle with yourself. So all in all, I am definitely getting a sense that we are maybe collectively going through a bit of a hard time, which I tend to find a lot, that when I'm going through things, turns out a whole lot of people are. We're all a part of the same primordial soup, and we are all in this dimensional pool together, and we might all be going through things not in the same way, but there are these pathways and these avenues that we are all kind of taking, even though they look different for us in our day-to-day lives. So I am getting the consensus through this reading in particular that it's a bit of a hard time lately collectively. We started off with the Battle of the Blues, so it's evident that there might be some sadness and depression and all of the feelings that come with that. I'm also seeing that we might be struggling financially right now, which, you know, these things, if you're struggling financially and you're struggling mentally at the same time, whew, that's a rough time right there, okay? I can tell you from firsthand experience. So, I think it's a rough time right now. And then also just adding on the unicorn and the memories, which kind of brings in more of the ethereal, like divine intervention kind of energy. I'm getting the sense that it's obvious that we're going to be okay and that we're going to get out of it. We probably know this internally, even if it's really deep down, but it's always important to invite magic into your life and to not lose sight of that inner child wonder and whimsy that keeps us happy and keeps us fulfilled. And it's time to invite that energy in right now, because when we're in the midst of chaos and sadness and struggle, it's really, really important to just remember that magic does exist, and it is something that flows freely throughout everything, whether it's nature or it is, you know, a craft that you enjoy doing, or just your own relationship with yourself. There's a lot of magic out there, and it is always, always wanting to embrace you and bring you happiness and joy. And the memories card definitely kind of feels like a slight outlier, but I think that it's very relevant, and I am feeling that there might be one or two people that are going to watch this that can really resonate with this on a really deep level. And once again, I just want to remind you that this is a very good omen, that those who you might be trying to connect with that have passed are there, and they hear you and they love you and they care for you, and whatever you're doing to connect with them and continue to be okay and content, as content as you can be, obviously. Keep doing those things, and if you're having a specifically rough time with it, then this magical whimsy energy is still relevant to that. It's really important to allow ourselves the freedom to enjoy ourselves and care for ourselves in a way that allows us to invite beautiful things into our lives. I'm also getting a overall kind of vibe that there is a divine intervention happening for a lot of us right now. Almost like, because everybody has their own way of connecting with God, connecting with divine, connecting with whatever it is that you believe in as a higher power. But I'm feeling that no matter what it is for you, we're all kind of getting this nudge right now, like this nudge that's kind of outside of ourselves, that's kind of trying to guide us right now into doing what we need to do to get through this time. And I think that it's important to try to allow yourself to tap into that. And even if it maybe feels a little uncomfortable, or it feels like you don't know how it's going to turn out, I think you should lean into it. I think you should trust that outside source, because it feels like divine intervention. It feels like something that is good and is trying to prevail the best possible outcomes for you, even if it may seem a little bit like iffy in the present moment. This is like something that's trying to get in to help you work towards your goals even better for the future. And some of that might be, loved ones that are on the other side. And, it might be these magical, whimsical, divine entities that some of us are connected with. But all in all, it's really just parts of ourselves. It's a part of ourself that is transmuted in a way that ends up being outside of ourselves to tell us to do something to bring us back into ourselves. It's just this cycle, of trusting. That's the utmost thing is trust right now. We need to trust in the process and trust in the fact that we are going to get to where we need to go, and it looks different for everybody. And maybe you thought something was going to work and it didn't. Maybe you thought you were going to be on a certain path and you're not. Maybe you thought somebody was going to be in your life for a set amount of time and they're not. That is life. It is full of unexpected, rapid change, and the only way that we can truly persevere is if we flow with it. The saying of, you would rather be flowing with the river than pushing against it. I'm feeling that heavy right now. I think that we need to surrender and release. And that seems to be a theme during summertime a lot, I feel. I feel that things get really congested during summer. And, same as the weather, it gets super hot. And the only way we can find release sometimes is to go to the cooling waters and let it flow around us and let ourselves flow within it. And I think that is both a metaphorical sense of what's happening right now and the physical. So There was also some imagery of water in 2 of our 4 cards. So I would say that if you have some water source near you, whether it's a river, a creek, a pond, a lake, a little stream, whatever it is, if you're able to get near some water soon, I think that would be beneficial. Just sitting with it and admiring the way that it flows, and that it may not seem like it knows where it's going, but it does, and it's moving in that direction, and I think that we can really learn from that during this time as well. So I have talked a whole lot. It makes sense, though, that I wouldn't post a video for a month and then make an hour-long video. So if you stayed this long, then thank you so much for being here. Truly, it means the world to me. And I hope that there are parts of this video that you feel you can resonate with. And I hope that this reading was beneficial for you and reached you well. And if it did, and once again, if you want to talk about it or make any comments about it, then feel free to leave a comment down below, or you can find me on social media and message me about it. If you want personalized readings every month, then feel free to check out my Patreon linked below. You can just kind of, feel out if that's something that would be beneficial for you or not. And I'm going to truly try my best to get back on schedule with videos. I think that it'll be easier for me to do videos now with this new studio and the headspace that I'm leaning into. So stay tuned for more episodes of Earthling Elaborates, and thank you so much. I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your week, and I will talk to you soon.